Right after celebrating his 18th birthday, Ozan grabbed his backpack and headed straight for Skopje. As he crossed the historic stone bridge, he felt an unexpected sense of home. Then he spotted a familiar logo on the corner. Hoca'dan. This is it, he thought. I can handle my banking business here without the stress of a foreign language. After all, the sign is in Turkish. They'll probably even offer me a cup of tea. He marched through the glass doors of the bank with the confidence of someone walking into their own living room. When he reached the ticket machine, he squinted at the Macedonian words and clicked a button at random, telling himself, "This definitely means cash." Ozan was already dreaming of the famous local meatballs he would buy once he exchanged his Turkish lira for Macedonian dinar. When his number was finally called, Ozan approached the counter, where a very serious-looking clerk sat. The clerk, whose name tag read Goran, looked at Ozan over the rim of his glasses. In his most polite Turkish, Ozan said, "Hello, brother. I'd like to exchange this money, and can we also open a student account?" Goran paused for a moment, furrowed his brow, and shrugged. "Dobar dan, ne razbiram." English? He asked. The smile on Ozan's face froze. "What do you mean?" "This is Hoca'dan. It literally has the word for people in Turkish in its name." "Don't you know Turkish?" Ozan asked in shock. Goran simply toyed with his pen, his expression blank and uncomprehending. Ozan didn't give up easily. "Money. Banknotes. Surely you know the basics, brother," he said, miming the action of counting cash in the air. He then pulled out his passport and placed it slowly on the counter, as if it were a magical, self-explanatory document. Goran glanced at the passport and shook his head. "Passport, okay, but no Turkish." Seeing Ozan's persistence, Goran pulled a thick stack of forms from a drawer. They were all written in the Cyrillic alphabet. Ozan stared at the papers, and the papers seemed to stare back at him. "Brother, these look like advanced math equations. I think the only thing I can write here is my name," Ozan muttered. Goran simply pushed the forms across the desk toward him. Ozan quickly reached for his phone. He tried to open a translation app, but the thick stone walls of the bank were a fortress against any signal. As he watched the loading icon spin endlessly on the screen, he groaned. The world's greatest tragedy is unfolding right here. Goran waited patiently for Ozan's phone to come back to life. An elderly woman named Elena, who was waiting behind Ozan, began tapping her cane loudly on the floor. "Agde mom, sto se sluchi?" she grumbled. Ozan turned around and said, "Auntie, I honestly don't know. I'm looking for someone who speaks Turkish, but this bank is basically playing a game of charades." Elena, of course, didn't understand a word. Elena began speaking loudly in Macedonian to Goran at the counter. The two of them launched into what sounded like a heated argument. Ozan felt like a tennis ball caught in the middle, snapping his head back and forth between Elena and Goran. "I think they're planning to kick me out," he thought nervously. Just then, a burly security guard appeared at the door. His name was Tariq. He walked over to Ozan and leaned in to whisper, "Brother, none of these kids speak Turkish. Don't tire yourself out. If you know English, try that." Ozan was in shock. "Where did you come from? Why didn't you say anything sooner?" Tariq laughed. "My shift just started." Ozan was so happy to finally hear a hello in his language that he forgot all about his banking and decided to go have tea with Tariq instead.